We want to stick with the airlines here because airline stocks are on a bit of a move here. There was a new note out from JPMorgan Chase. Now, the banking giant turning bullish on American Airlines, upgrading the airline to overweight from neutral while raising its price target to $29 from $26 a share. Now saying in this note, quote, it's now the larger airlines that control the high ground. And Akiko, when we take a look at American specifically and what JPMorgan liked about American, they mentioned the revenue guides, the margin improvement, the fact that the company posted a $10 million profit last quarter. Revenue was up 37%. A lot of that strength, Akiko, coming from the demand to travel internationally as we do see more and more COVID restrictions lifted worldwide. People are back out. They want to travel international. And we're seeing that reflected not only in Americans' plans, but from a number of its competitors as well.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about where JPMorgan is coming in overweight, they were already overweight the other carriers. So American Airlines just joining the pack here, but it really is about the domestic versus international. Obviously, the discount carriers don't have that. So we are seeing that dynamic shift in a big way. You talk about the debt picture for American Airlines, significant improvement on that front, 60% on their way to completing its goal of cutting debt by $15 billion by the end of 2025. JPMorgan saying in this note that, yes, that's a good thing. It doesn't mean that things are fixed, but they are on track here at a quicker rate in terms of addressing that debt.
Yeah, certainly. We can see, obviously, JPMorgan, they're not alone in the optimistic view that they have for a number of the larger carriers here in the U.S. But Akiko, also on this note, JPMorgan didn't really have the same rosy picture or outlook, I should say, for some of those discount airlines. Particularly, you're looking at Southwest. They downgraded that stock to neutral from overweight, also reduced their price target to $39 a share from $64. Southwest shares hovering near the flat line. Less than an hour here to go before the bell, off just about 0.2%. They also downgraded Frontier as well, just saying that the path forward here is a little bit less clear for some of those discount airlines.
Yeah, I mean, Southwest, of course, coming off of a bumpy, no pun intended really here, but a bumpy ride for that airline when we're talking about delays and challenges with travelers. So that's already, in some ways, we've already seen that way on the stock. But when you think about how things are shaping up for the summer, Shana, we keep hearing that there is really this demand that consumers are still willing to shell out money for that big summer travel. It's going to be interesting to me to watch. I mean, we're obviously seeing where the note is saying that they think international demand is continuing to stay strong. I mean, those tickets, I don't know if you've been searching, but they are not cheap. I'd be curious to see how much, to what extent that demand continues, especially in the face of inflation.
Yeah, Kiko, I'm so happy you brought that up because it has certainly been astonishing. We're talking about the fact that Americans are facing higher prices in nearly every aspect on their life. They're pulling back in many situations on their discretionary spending. When you take a look at airfares, they're up, about 30% still on a year-over-year basis. Those international flights are very, very expensive. So I would not be shocked if some people are forced to, unfortunately, maybe change their travel plans over the coming months, given the fact that inflation remains so sticky.